Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Today is a good day for most of us. I am off for a change and having a little bit of a break. And today I am recording the answers to the 100 subscriber questions I sort of asked for. And we are going to be up here in the top of our nether doing a little bit of busy work. We've got our where we're calling flight line, at least I'm calling them flight lines, that allow us to fly between different areas up here. So this is our path over to the new Talonwood here on the Odium server. But we still have a bunch more of these to work on, our gold farm. Hopefully you watched Spanky's video on that. One was really fun putting that one together. But I'm going to sit up here and I want to answer some questions, see how long this takes, and sort of lay in some stuff as we go. So, let me grab some stuff. Don't want to get too far out here, and I need to gather up a couple of chunks of supplies, or I'm going to make my life really miserable when the ghasts come out here. All right, so this is actually kind of easy because it's just a matter of just placing a bunch of blocks. So let's start with the first question. And I don't have who asked the questions, but I do have the questions themselves. If these are yours, I think I got them all. I just wrote them down a little bit ago and took them all in stride here. So the first one, what is my favorite book? I do a lot of reading. I read anything that I can get my hands on. So I really don't have a favorite book. I have a bunch of books that I'm really been enjoying lately. For example, I'm a big Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan. I like Jim Butcher. He's an author that does the Dresden Files. He's got a couple other series that I find really good and really enjoy reading. I like his style. I've also been reading... I read a lot of Star Trek novelizations. I kind of my go-to trash novel, almost like a romantic novel sometimes, and just sort of real basic, nothing fancy with them. So I really do like reading those kind of things. I love reading comic books and anything. Like I said, anything I get my hands on, I'm going to sit down and try and read. All right, so the next one is this one. I know who this one is from. This is from YDYT. And this is, what is the social security number? It was in reference to my comment on what question I wouldn't answer. I'm not going to give away my social security number, but social security number is the U.S. Identification number for tax purposes, for all intents and purposes. So that's what that is. So here, what's the next question? Is how long have you been playing in Minecraft? The short answer is a long time. I was actually playing for... Ooh, I think I figured out a while back, almost 1.2 in the betas, I think is what it was. I've been playing since about, let's see here. Well, I did this a while back and figured it out. I was playing back before redstone repeaters and minecarts were a thing, where it was basically stone and a pick, and you broke stuff. Very early on in the game's construction, and I've just been loving it ever since. I need to go look at this design over here. So it's been a long time, probably a good 7-8 years. Been doing a variety of different things and a lot of different building. Used to do minecart, really complex minecart tracks before powered rails existed and stuff like that. So really enjoy doing those kind of things. All right. So, what keeps me inspired to build in Minecraft? Part of it is that it's so open-ended. Anything that I can pop into my brain, I could probably figure out how to build. And that's sort of one of those things about Minecraft that's really so special, is that you can build just about anything that you want. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can think it, you can probably find a way to build it. What is my favorite block in Minecraft? That's a tough one. Because I really don't have a favorite block. I guess I really enjoy Probably stone, because you can do so much other things with it. You know, you got stone slabs, you've got the bricks and all the other stuff that goes with it. So that's always a good one to have. Let's see here. Craft up some stairs here real quick. Need a lot of them. All right. All right. So, favorite game other than Minecraft? That one's kind of interesting because I don't play a lot of other games. I've played Skyrim. I've played, oh boy, all kinds of stuff. But I don't play a lot of other games. I'm really enjoying Rocket League right now. It's fun. That's a fun one to play. Sit down and just show how bad I am at it. I just like trying different kinds of games. I'm a big board game player more than anything else, I think. That's one of the things I really like to play. I like the Settlers of Catan. I'm like, our family does a lot of card games, a lot of Pinochle and stuff like that. So a big board game player. Chess, a lot of those bookshelf style games that I love playing backgammon as well. So those are the kind of games that I like to play. What made me want to do YouTube? I don't know. YouTube was sort of one of those things for me that was just sort of like, well, let's see if I can do it. I've always wanted to do the video editing and that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what we can do with it and start doing it. And I really do enjoy doing it. It's one of those things that I'm finding is really rewarding in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be. Where am I going? Going wrong spot. It was just sort of one of those things I just wanted to try to do, see if I could do it. I like being creative. I've done writing. I've written a couple of short stories. Nothing that was published, but I enjoyed writing. I enjoyed doing that kind of thing. I do pencil drawing. I like that kind of thing. I have a degree in music, a lot of other things like that. So there's always been a creative outlet for it, and creating the YouTube videos and the building is just a good example of another way to do that. Oops. All right. If you could be any animal, what would it be? That's a tough one. I think I want to be like a bat, just sort of be around but not be around. I'm kind of a little bit antisocial when it comes to those kind of things, and I don't necessarily want to be in the mix all the time. So I like being sort of hidden away. You know, people can't always find you. Let's see here. Do I enjoy building? I really do enjoy building. I do enjoy spending the time building in the game because for me, it's one of those things that's just pushes that creative level and finds different ways to come up with. I need to get some glass. I gotta make sure I got some glass so I don't get gas spawns up here. We've already done that once as we're building this. But yeah, I do enjoy building. I enjoy that aspect of it. I also enjoy the redstone and the farms and seeing what level I can push the game to more than anything else. All right. What hand do I write with? I am right-handed, which is surprising considering most a lot of creative people tend to be left-handed. I guess I am much more scientifically inclined, and that's pretty common that I've seen around is that you get this left-handed group that is very creative as such. So I'm a right-handed individual. What modded feature would I like to see added? Ooh. That's a tough one. There's a lot of good modded stuff. For me, one of the things within the modded side that I would love to see added in, it's gotta be some of the storage, like the ME systems. Being able to have access to all of that material relatively quickly and crafting it up. That's one of the things that, you know, we kind of did here as well, sort of having that bulk equipment, bulk materials, sort of storage. We did as close to an ME system as we could in vanilla here on the Odium server night. It was kind of that was really fun to do and put together. All right, let's see here. Most challenging personal achievement. I think the most challenging personal achievement that I've done is I went back to school and got a master's. I have a degree in business, as well as a degree in mathematics and music. And probably the most the biggest personal achievement for me was going back to school while working full time and getting that degree. Not an easy thing to do, but definitely I think is well worth it, and proves that you can keep your education going as well as everything else. All right. What is my favorite childhood video game? Ooh. So I'm gonna date myself and show my age. When I was a kid, I was around when the Atari 2600, the very first Atari console game, was released. So that definitely sort of tells you my age. And I remember getting it with my dad, and we went and got the games and played. Sort of the one of the games they had was like a Winter Olympics, where you could do a bunch of different Olympic events on it. And that was a lot of fun, but that wasn't my favorite. My favorite would have to be for the Commodore 64, and we had a family contest on this game where we would play the Winter Olympics, the Summer Olympics, and the Summer Olympics 2 on the Commodore 64, and all of us would get together and do the events and see who could do the best, sort of the track and fields, the ice skating, and all that stuff. That was sort of my some of the favorite games that we did. I still miss doing those with the family, because we'd all get around, all my brothers and sisters and my dad. We get around and actually play those events and spend like a weekend kind of afternoon playing them all, and everybody gets a chance to compete, and everybody had an opportunity to win. There was no one person that could run away with the games. All right, so the last questions are on some movies, and I'm always good about movies. If you ever have anything you want to ask my opinion about on a science fiction or fantasy based movie, just throw it at me. I'm more than willing and happy to answer that. The movies that the questions that came up are: what is my opinion on Starship Troopers, the first movie, I'm assuming? My understanding is they're actually working on some remakes of some of these, but the very first one I thought was okay. It wasn't a blockbuster. It was a really good basic sci-fi movie. I enjoyed it. It had its flaws. It was Neil Patrick Harris was in it. I remember that, and Denise somebody or another, as well as some other mediocre actors, I think, at the time. But it was a good premise. It was an interesting idea, and I know it didn't follow the books very well, but it was a fun movie. Like I said, it has its flaws, but it was decent. If you ask me where I would rate that, I put that at the definitely worth picking up in the bargain bin kind of a movie. So if you could see that on the cheap, it's definitely worth it. And the next one was, what do I think of The Fifth Element? Fifth Element is one of my favorite movies. I think it was a great movie. It was a unique idea, and one of a really good way of bringing a handful of actors in there. I mean, it was one of the few movies that I remember where the true villain and the true hero never actually were on screen at the same time at all during the movie. So it was really kind of interesting as far as that, as well as I think it wasn't Chris Rock, but our comedian there. I can't think of his name. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible nerd. But it was a really fun movie as well, so definitely worth the time if you haven't seen Fifth Element. Go out and get that out. I think it's on its 20-year anniversary or something like that. Maybe 10-year, not 20-year. It was a really good movie at the time. Special effects are a little tight, but it's a good movie. Definitely worth the watch. So that is what we've got for the questions for today. And I made some good progress on this. I haven't quite made it out all the way over there. I'm probably going to finish that up. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We've got a handful of these things done up here as well. I had fun answering the questions. Definitely something we get to do every now and then. Well, hopefully every now and then as we get further and further up into some of our user counts. Yeah, I've got a little ways to go till we get to the Guardian farm over here. I hope you had fun. Feel free to leave me other comments, any questions. If you'd like something else answered, I'm always looking for the feedback, the comments, anything on there. I try to read all my comments every single time, every single day, go through them, make sure I haven't missed anything. As always, you can find me on Twitter as well, at A Wandering Nerd. Thank you again so much for getting me up to the 100 subscribers. I really do appreciate that, and I'm really enjoying keep creating stuff for you, content for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am making it. Thank you so much again. Until next time, this is A Wandering Nerd.